This is a Zamboni Z500. This one happens to be red. It has a Patrick Cudahy logo on the side of it. It has been in service roughly 20 years. It has nearly 3,200 hours on this current engine. Roughly 4,000 hours is when a motor needs to be changed. The water tank holds 250 gallons of hot water. It uses about 3/4 of that tank every time the Zamboni comes out to flood the ice. If you are fascinated by the sport of hockey, you no doubt have been fascinated by the Zamboni. I'm Aaron Sims, and this is Chillin' on a Zamboni. Sometimes I like to burn out a little bit when we start up. So you always got to be ready to go, my fishtail on you or something like that.
You think this is like Fast and the Furious
Kind
to you?
of, yeah. You know what? I ever tell you I was on a racetrack one time?
Like a car? Like for auto?
Yeah. Banked turns and everything like that. And I was driving a 92 Ford Ranger. I'm punching it down, man. And I had the manual transmission on this pickup and little Ranger, and I'm flying, right? And I get into the turn, and I glance down, and I'm going 32 miles an hour.
No way.
I thought I was flying. I thought I should have been out there on Saturday night. and I wouldn't even get a ticket in the 25.
Unbelievable.
I have noticed this year especially, and I don't know, maybe my ice microphones are hotter than normal, but I hear you on the ice. You talk out there.
A lot.
A lot.
A lot.
I
talk a lot everywhere, Simmer.
Is that always been the case with you on the ice, or is that something conscious you do, and why do you do it? Are you trying to get under somebody's skin?
I think it's a little bit everything. One, I think I like to talk.
Yeah.
People would probably say I talk too much. But I think it's a mix of everything. It's getting under the skin of my opponent.
Yep.
And the other part is talking to your team constantly. It's one thing that a lot of teams focus on. But something when I was young, it was something I was always told: talk.
Yeah, communicate.
Even if it's just making noise to let your teammate know where you are. And
right.
I guess that's something I'm good at, making noise. But no, just constantly going over situations, plays on the ice, power play, penalty kill, face-off plays. I mean, to me, I think it just becomes that much easier if you just, even though you know what you're going to do, if we all say it and just talk it out quick before the puck drops or before that face-off happens, I don't know. Maybe that's just my excuse to talk.
Well, I tell you what, though, I mean, how many times you watch a baseball game and they all look at each other and say 2 outs?
Yeah,
They probably all know it's 2 outs. It's
Everybody
on the scoreboard,
knows.
2 outs.
I did that in baseball. I was out there in the outfield. I was throwing the 2 up.
Exactly.
In the infield, 2 out. Everybody knows.
Is part of it too keeping your team loose? I mean, it might be unfair to ask you, but what would be the funniest thing that you have said to an opponent? Do you have a list? Do you have things that you're like, man, I'm really happy with myself that I said that?
No.
Maybe more that you're unhappy with yourself that you said something, but
I don't know if there's anything that sticks out, but it's more, I think you got to be quick on your feet out there because the chirps go back and forth quickly.
Right.
So I think you got to make sure.
And you have to retaliate. If somebody chirps you, you better have the comeback.
You got to have something.
You can't look like a jerk.
No. You got to have something. And if you're firing first, you got to know something's coming back, and you got to make sure you're well equipped with something else.
Word.
Yeah, and I'm good at getting the last word in. But I think I've always enjoyed bringing some life or some entertainment or a laugh to a room.
Yeah.
Especially, when things can seem, gray or
right,
a little dismal. But you got to enjoy what you're doing, and there's always going to be ups and downs. And when things are high, I mean, you can ride them. When they're low, you got to find a way to kind of pick the spirit back up and kind of change the mood. And for some reason, I've always been a guy that's enjoyed kind of doing that and poking fun with other guys in the room. And
sure.
And with that, it comes right back to you. Guys are poking fun at you.
Yep.
And, I don't know. That's just that's always kind of been a part of my life, and I don't think that'll ever change, whether I'm at the rink or not.
Well, what'd you think of your first twirl on the Zamboni?
I thought it was great.
Do you think, it's something that...
I think we've been flying. What were we going, 80?
I glanced in the turn. It was only 32.
It was only 32. Not even a ticket and a 25.
No. All right, thanks for doing this.
Of course. Thanks for having me, Simmer.